Here with Aunt Clara and Uncle Clem now in their back garden. This is Saturday evening, and we're going to ask Aunt Clara a few questions now. She might give us a few small answers. Now, Aunt Clara, where are you about in the family?
I was third girl,
Third
and
girl.
there's two younger than me, Wallace and Rowena.
Okay.
There's 4 girls and there's 6 boys.
So you can remember your parents really well, and I guess you had a lot of chores to do, being one of the girls. I guess the
Right.
boys had the girls.
Well,
the boys
I
had
looked
chores.
after your mom when she had diabetes. I had to go to Tullingate Hospital and learn how to give her the needle for diabetes.
Okay.
You had to have the needle then, no pills or no capsules. You had to have the needle 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And so I went down and learned how to do it.
Yeah.
And she was down there a month before that. She went down to have cataracts taken off her eyes.
Now that was when? What year was that? That was like
I was
when
20,
she got older.
1940.
Yeah.
1940.
Oh.
And so I looked after her then until I got married, 1941.
Okay.
So I taught Rowena how to do it, and she did it until after she was married.
Oh.
And we went away to Flatirons, lived up there 6 years. We lived in Brownsarm 2, was it, after we got married.
Right.
And we went up there. And then when it came back here to Laurenceton, I took it over again
Okay.
and looked after her. But then after a while, she didn't have it 3 times a day. She only had to have it once. So that was just wonderful.
So diabetes back then was like a major
Oh,
disease.
everybody I heard about died.
Yeah.
She's the first one that I knew about that. Well, she would have had, if she hadn't gone to Tullingate Hospital, she would have been dead.
Yeah.
But she had to go down for cataracts on her eyes, so they put her on a diet, and she kept strictly to the diet.
Mm.
And she lived to be 77.
So did she have any younger children at that time? Like how old were Rowena and Wallace?
Wallace was away to work,
Okay.
and Rowena was 15 when I was 20.
Yeah.
So then she took over when I went away when I got married.
Now, Aunt Clara, when you were small, and, little girl, and that, can you give us any memories of way back then? What you did for fun and stuff like that?
I don't know.
Who's allowed?
I was 3 years old when my grandma died, Mom's mother. I remember that.
Yeah.
But they didn't let us see the funeral or nothing like that. But I remember going into her bedroom, me and Wallace,
Okay.
when Mom was busy out bringing water and all that.
Yeah.
She had to bring the water. And then when she died, she just went. They didn't let us know about the funeral. We were in the kitchen doors closed. But by and by, I was only 3 years old when Grandma's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So can you remember her
I
seeing your
remember
grandma?
that. Remember, yes, we used to go in her bedroom and she'd say, open the drawer and take out that box there. Because she was paralyzed, she had a stroke.
Okay.
And one hand was good, and I passed it to her. She'd open the box. We'd take out the jelly bean candy.
Oh yeah.
I closed up and said, put it back again. Wallace was only just able to
Yeah.
crawl around the
So
floor.
what was her name again?
Miriam. Miriam Brown. Mom was a Brown.
Right. So she came to live with Charlotte
Yes.
when you were small.
She was her youngest. Well, she lived with Amos, her son, but they went to Grand Falls, and she came with Mom. Then
Yeah.
later they went away to Boston.
Yeah. Now, Aunt Claire, have you got memories of your dad? Like, he was gone a lot, but can you remember him being home and what he was like?
Yes, he used to work at Brownsarm with Drover. They had a sawmill down there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
What was it?
Steam
Water,
boilers.
power. What'd you call it? The kind of mill he
The
had
steam
down there.
mill.
Steam, yes, steam. His dad used to
Yeah.
fire the engines. And when I was 4, well, they had a fire down there, burned out the country, so he quit that, and then he started working with other people.
Going fishing? Or,
No, he just on fish for his own use, that's all.
okay.
But he worked for Roland Lang down here. He had a sawmill. And then later he went across to Derelick
Yeah.
with Cisa married Earl Hall. He went over there
Okay.
to Afterwood.
Yeah.
And then a few years later he went out to Indian Bay. Was foreman on the camp out there for Bow Waters.
So he was gone a lot during the year.
Right, yes.
Like, when would you see him? Was it just 2 or 3 times a year? Or?
Oh, no, every few months, say.
Yeah.
But when he worked at Bow Waters out there, he'd come home about every month anyway, for
Yeah.
a weekend and go back.
Yeah.
And then later he, I don't know what he done, odd jobs. He worked for the A&D company
Yeah.
up in Botwich until he retired.
Yeah. What type of a man was he? Like, with the children. What was he like with you girls and boys growing up? Can't remember much of that?
I don't remember ever touching us. He would bawl at us sometimes.
Yeah.
But if we wasn't good, Mum was the one to take the stick.
Oh.
I don't remember if every touched one of us. I don't know
Yeah.
about the other boys, but we ball at it.
Yeah.
And if you don't be good, you won't catch it.
Yeah. Now, what was your mother like for around the house? And yeah.
But we had to pitch in and do our work when I was only very young. I had to wash the dishes.
Yeah.
Joyce and I.
Yeah.
We would work together, two of us.
So Joyce is
5 years older than I was.
And is there anyone in between you and Joyce?
Bert.
Okay, right, yeah.
That's
You were
right.
talking to Bert. So Charlotte, your mom, she had gardens and everything.
Oh, yes. She about 4 o'clock in the morning ate milking the cow and then picking the grubs off her cabbage.
Oh.
Bef-
My.
Just as daylight.
So
She'd have all that done before we'd get up.
And you got up then and you had to go to school. Did you have chores before you went to school or what did you do?
No, not when we were little.
No.
But when we come home, we'd have them, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Well, we lived over there, close to school. We'd have to wash the dishes at dinner, noontime,
Yeah.
They call it lunch now.
Yeah.
We call it dinner. And then in the evenings, of course, we'd have to do the dishes.
So Aunt Clara, you must have had to take your luncheon at school. Like what?
No, because I was born down there and we lived down there for years, but I was only 4 when we moved over Uncle Amos's house. They went away to Boss. They
Okay.
wanted Dad to go over and look after the place over there because they had fruit trees.
So how long were you over in that house then?
9.
9 years.
9 years, yes.
So the house that they talk about in the garden, the garden that you lived in, that's in Uncle Cesa's garden up there now. But was that the place you can remember
No, I
growing
was
up?
born in across the road.
Okay, and
By the lilac tree.
where Wilfred's
Yes.
place
Ours
is.
was inside the lilac tree.
Okay,
And we had a path on the back to go up to grandmother's place. She had a house just like ours.
okay,
It was a 2-story,
Mhm.
4 bedrooms upstairs.
yeah.
And
I suppose you had to share a room and share a bed because you had so many.
Rowena and I slept together, yeah.
And was there much carrying on now? Can you remember carrying on? And
One was Dad would bawl at us till us be quiet.
yeah,
We had to get up Sunday morning and go to church.
yeah.
And sometimes you wouldn't want to get up. And one time he was upstairs and called us. We didn't get up. And he was going downstairs. And he said, "Sleep on, beloved, sleep and take the rest." Everybody started laughing. They got up then.
Oh yeah. So I guess Sunday you had your vegetables peeled and everything the night before, most
Yes.
likely. So you all went to church then, the whole family?
Church Sunday morning. And Ellie used to take me. That's Grace's father.
Yeah.
Take me by the hand and go on.
Yeah. So what did you have? What kind of church did you have? It was a Methodist church back then?
I got
Or
the picture put in there. You could have that.
yes.
Take off.
yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah.
idea.
Methodist church.
Methodist church.
It's took down now. It's not there. See, it's just a
Yeah.
graveyard and there's a plaque up.
Okay.
But I get a picture of it in there. And
Yeah. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the twin that they say was born? And what were their names?
In Brownstown at the time.
Yeah.
You want it all?
Well, you can give a little bit of it, whatever.
So she said there was a man got sawed down the mill, his hand or something. His name was Charles.
Yeah.
And Mr. Drover said, "Go up to the house and get some white rag for bandages."
Yeah.
I didn't care what they got teared off a sheet or what. He said, "Don't go to Mrs. Ball's," because he knew she was expecting. And this boy was only about 12 or 13. Perhaps he wasn't that old. And that's where he ran up to our place.
Yeah.
And he said, "I want some bandages." He said, "Charlie got sawed down the mill." And she was about 6 months or something like that, 6 or 7 months, but maybe 7. And she thought it was her Charlie,
Okay.
boy. Hey,
Right, yeah.
frightened her. So anyway, the babies was born premature.
Oh,
And she named them Cedric, Woodrow and Cedric.
yeah.
So then they moved back here. That was in the fall, I guess, sometime. They moved back here in summer. And I don't know just how long they lived, a few months. And I got a picture, Flo got it, of
Okay.
grandmother sitting there with the 2 babies.
Okay.
They, you see, they look pretty sleepy, eh?
Grandmother Brown.
Grandmother Ball,
Grandmother Ball.
Dad's grandmother.
Holly Ball.
So,
Yes, Holly
you
Ball,
know,
right
right
on.
them and the 2 babies had convulsions.
Oh,
So,
so
you
they
know,
died around the same time. The 2 babies did.
one
Oh,
died a
really?
little bit before the other.
Okay.
A few months, they lived a few months. But see the cold weather coming on, and
Yeah.
you couldn't buy tin milk. It was
No.
just awful. I think they had goats.
Now,
Well, they
wasn't
did.
there another baby after Wallace?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oliver.
Now, can you remember that baby?
I can, yeah. It was between Moina and Wallace.
Yeah.
He was He was born in September on Italy's birthday, and he died in March.
Okay.
Everybody had the measles. Wilfred and Cecil came from Derlick, and they had measles. And everybody in the house took them, all but Dad. Dad didn't have them because he had them first when they got married, and he went down to his mother's, and she looked after him.
Okay, yeah.
So we had a servant girl looking after him, but anyway, he got choked up, got colds with the measles.
Okay, so that's what.
I remember Dad bringing him, showing to us, I always, lovely baby.
Yeah, you were just a little tiny girl then.
4 years old.
Yeah, so can you remember
I
that?
remember that, yeah.
Wow.
We were sitting down by the stove, those old wood stoves, Waterloo stoves, and we had our feet in under Wallace and me and Bert and Joyce.
Yeah.
And Dad came in from looking at the barn up to the cows and the pond of sheep and that. And he looked at us and he said, "Get up to the bed." He said, "You all get measles."
Oh.
We cut them from the bigger boys. They were on the men then. They were getting better.
So I guess there was no shots, no needles back then for the measles.
There was a nurse
How'd you treat it?
next door. She married my cousin. He was overseas in World War I, and she was a nurse.
Yeah.
So she used to come in and help it and do what she could. But Mom, she went blind. She couldn't see anything. She was the last to take them. She looked after the others. But Edley and Wilfred, they were bad.
So she went blind with the measles, and she had all these little children home.
So when she could see, she could only see little black things on the paper. But she'd come into that and get all right.
Oh boy, she's a very strong woman. Mm. So what else can you tell me about Charlotte? Like, was she, merry, singing, or?
She used to play. They had that old harp the Wilf gave her. She used to strum that sometimes.
Yeah.
Play the accordion.
So where did Pop get that harp?
I don't know. He brought it from somewhere when he was away to work.
Yeah.
I don't know just where it came from, but he used to be playing it, and he taught her how to do it.
So they could all sing, the Ball family. They're all good singers.
And Ball.
They could ball, too.
Grandfather Ball said, "Bob, got a great crowd down there." He said, "When they start singing," he said, "you can hear them out in Africa."
Yeah, so Aunt Clara, you got a garden there, too. Yes. You got married. Uncle Clem came looking for something, and he got you.
Yes.
So Clem, you came down with your father, did you?
His brother.
His brother. Yeah.
Charlie come in and said, "There's a man and his little boy gone down the road with Dad. They're looking for one of Dad's cows, heifers, 2-year-old."
Yeah.
So that's all I thought about. He came up and come in the house, and Rowena come in. She said, "Hello," and he said, "Hello, Ro." Dad says, "Do you know this man?" I said, "No, I don't know." And he said, "Go away." He said, "Ro knows him." I said, "I don't know him. I never laid eyes on him before."
How did Rowena know him then? She must have
down there one Sunday and in that supper with them.
Oh.
Wilfred was down. He was preaching there. See, and he went down at a water baptism service.
Rowena knew us real good, and they went to a toilet. We had a square hole instead of a round hole.
Yeah.
Don't you say anything.
And they girls, there's 3 of them. Brenda,
Audrey.
Audrey
Manuel.
Yeah. Audrey Manuel and Wallace's wife, eh?
Yeah.
Don't you say that, because that's going to come out on tape.
Yeah, and you had a square hole in the
toilet.
Right on.
What was that? Just for a joke? Or that's just
well, he made one round, and that's all. He just had this piece of board go on over it, cover it, That's all he did.
So you told your father you didn't know Clem?
Yes. He used to know, well, I got over that. So he told me who it was then. Oh, he went to go up to the store. First time ever he was up there. So we walked up the road together. I was going to a meeting up there.
PTA meeting.
That's right. And when the war was on, you see.
Oh.
So the meeting was cancelled. The lady was going to lead it, wasn't there. So there's nothing doing. He walked back the road again, come home.
Yeah.
So they went home. Next thing he come up and said, "Oh yes, his father was interested in the price of the heifer, and he's going to have her."
Yeah.
So okay, after a week or two after that, he came up again and got her.
Yeah, that was your father's cows.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then one Sunday I looked and he's up again.
Oh.
Walking down the road, and Rowena says, "Don't you let him go into Manuel's to his supper." I said, "I don't care where he goes."
Yeah.
She was crazy about it, but she was 5 years younger, see. And she's keeping that tell him to come on down to our place. I said, I won't. You want to tell him to come down? Tell him yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want him. But anyway, it ended up so much she didn't want him to go in the manuals. They had a young woman there too, see.
Oh, that's what it was.
So he came down. That's top of us, and after that, he used to come up every Sunday.
And you've been here ever since.
Yeah.
And that's what, 50 years?
59.
59, yeah.
59 years. You've been married.
No.
Well, you got married.
It was 60 years ago because we wasn't married that year.
Yeah.
1941 we were married.
So how many children did you have?
Me, I got 6 boys and 1 girl.
6 boys and 1 girl.
Evelyn's the oldest. Yeah.
And how many grandchildren? Have you got any great?
One. Is this one? No.
I don't
Yes. Jamie's little girl.
know. Right on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how many grandchildren?
Just 2. 8 great-grandchildren.
Oh.
About 16 grandchildren, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
16 or 17.
So, Aunt Clara, you just stayed home, and once you had your children, that's you basically reared up your kids.
We went to Laurenceton, Placentia Bay, and lived up there for 4 years.
Okay.
Up to his parents' home, you know. But it was a fishing settlement, and he said no way could he see making a living for the family up there. And he got used to working down there with the company, A&D Company, and Price
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Bowaters.
Mm.
And he liked the woods work.
Yeah.
And then afterward, he got into the heavy equipment, road making and that.
Yeah.
Worked at that until he retired
Yeah.
when he was 62 years
But
old.
when you were up in Flat Islands, did you made coats and that, didn't you? Or,
So whatever I made 100 coats.
and you sold
From
them?
babies, I just made them for
You know,
people. They'd
would
bring the material in.
that kind of thing, yeah.
Okay.
She'd make
They'd bring the
So
material.
you'd make a little bit of money at that, wouldn't you?
Well, I used to keep the clothes on myself and the 2 children.
That's good.
Not as much as you would now.
No.
No.
That's right.
She made a little
First, I
money.
started off with, you only get $1 for a coat, but
Sometimes
then
you just hold up my fingers
I
and
used to
look
make
what
2
I've
in a
earned,
week.
you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And
good.
maybe
you get a
$10
nice-
or something.
Yeah.
No.
So you were gone to work then?
he fished for a few years out off Cape St. Mary's.
Grand Bank, whatever.
Yeah.
You know the song?
Yes,
Let me
I heard
fish
that
at Cape
song,
St.
yeah.
Mary's.
So then you were only gone away for 4 years, really. You've always basically
Yes,
been
we
in
come back.
Laurenceton.
He came back. Well, we bought the house that Bert lived in across the road, the bungalow, 4-room bungalow.
Yeah.
And that was okay when we only had 2 children. But then later we bought this one. It's only sheeted up and the roof on it from Wallace.
Okay.
Wallace started to build it, and it was down there in the garden behind Charlie's.
Yeah.
And his work was over to derelict, so
Yeah.
he decided to stay over there. And
So that house is fairly old.
Oh,
Really?
yes. It's old,
yes,
It's old.
57.
What, 45 years or what?
But
45 years old?
more than that, everyone was only 2 when
Oh.
they put the roof on it. That's 55.
We got a couple of horses, big horses and all it up.
Yeah.
They
All
pulled
up
it
from
up
down
there,
there.
yes.
Oh.
We
That was
bought
all
this
the
piece of
rage
land.
one time hauling,
Yes,
hauling
pulling
houses.
houses, yeah.
pulling
Bought
houses.
this, bought this piece of land from Cecil and pulled the house up.
From your brother Cecil.
Yes.
Okay.
And he finished it then.
Yeah. And so you raised your children in that house.
Yes. Cecil was 2 when we moved out here.
Yeah.
It was getting too crowded for the
So
other
you got a
one.
son Cecil, a brother Cecil, and a son Cecil.
Yes.
Okay. Right on. He's your oldest
And
one.
then Ivan and Max was born after everyone went teaching.
Okay.
She was only 16 when she went to Botwood to take grade 11.
Yeah.
So next summer she was 17. She was too young to get in university.
Yeah.
So they gave her a school out on out Cardish Cove.
Okay.
And then the next year she got in university.
Yeah.
So she had a couple of years university. She went down St. Lenaire
Okay. Yeah. Up
and
there.
met Mark's dad.
Yeah.
So then,
So they're all married now with their own children,
that's right. Yes.
coming home every couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years, 3 years. And well, our oldest owned 2 years, so our own Cecil when Clem was sick.
Yeah. Now, Aunt Clara, do you all these vegetables you got planted here now, carrot and potato?
Give
and-
away half of them.
You do all that yourself?
Yes.
Come out and plant it in spring,
We'll
and,
give away half of them.
and so you come out and pull that all up now the fall.
Yes, we did it little bit to a time.
Yeah. So
I get-
that's great.
And the apple
Used to
trees
work all
we
our
had
life.
barrel of apples, that's all. Barrels.
Apples.
Gave away hundreds.
Is that right? Well, that's good.
We did up, I don't know. We had them fresh until Christmas, suppose.
Mm.
That wouldn't keep any longer than
Yeah. Well, what we'll do now, Aunt Clara, we'll get them pictures you're talking about, the one of the twin,
the church.
and we might be able to put that on with the video.
What would you want your grandchildren or the younger generation to remember about your mother and your parents and those good old days, what would you want to remember?
Evelyn, Rye, Eugene, and Harold can remember about Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Well, Dad lived us last 2 years he was alive.
He lived with you guys?
Yes.
Okay. You took care of him till he died?
Yes. Well, no, he was in St. John's a month before he died, that's all.
He went into
Wilfred
the old
was in
folk
there,
house.
Yes, yeah.
Wilfred was in there in St. John's then.
Yeah.
But they had him in the hospital in there, you see.
Now, Robert and Charlotte were good workers. That, you know, that's what I've heard from everyone. They were hard workers.
And up late.
Yeah.
Carried the wool and then spin it and then knit it up.
So they trained
Well,
you
I was 9 years old when I knit the first pair of stockings for myself.
Is that right? So you're not lazy people by no means.
They was hard working.
Yeah.
And we have been too.
And that's a good thing to leave to your children.
One thing I missed when we went to Flat Islands was the garden.
Yeah.
That's what
The
we
ground
complain
wasn't
about now, that we're not able to do the things we used to do.
Yes.
And then
We
we came
complain
back
about
here,
it.
we could have all our own vegetables.
Yeah.
Whatever we desired to have. And
Old age is
we
something
didn't
you
have
have to
land up
accept.
here. First, because we only had inside the road there, so we went down the shore and cleared up a garden down there when Harold was only a baby.
Yeah.
And we used to have all kinds of vegetables grow down there.
Oh, good.
And then after we bought this piece of land out here, we had more room, eh?
Now, your vegetables were for your own family.
Yes.
And you had chickens over there, too, because I can
Yes.
remember that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We had chicken, ducks, geese, turkeys, pheasants. What else?
Hens?
Yes,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
kinds of. First, I used to have them come from mainland.
Yeah.
And then we got the incubators and we started hatching ourselves. We had 2 incubators.
So you sold the eggs and stuff like that?
Yes, and sold the chicken.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I sold 300 young geese one summer.
Well, that's great.
We stayed small enough that we didn't have to go into the egg marketing
That's
board.
right.
We just kept low enough.
About 130
Yeah.
or 40 dozen eggs a month, that kind of thing.
Is that right?
If we had 500 hens, we
Yeah,
had to go
500.
into
Yeah,
a-
that was just about the limit.
Yeah,
Any more than that, you'd
Some
have to
would
go in the
say
egg
you
marketing
can-
board.
that's right.
The
Yeah.
government would have to control you
That's
then.
right. So you played it smart.
We played it
Did you
smart.
get about 398 hens? I said 395.
Haha.
If we had 500, we had to go 400. We had to go in the marketing board.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our eggs would have to go on Bishop Falls to sell.
Right. Yeah.
And you wouldn't get so much from. But we sold the eggs around there, and then we went hatching.
Yeah.
The
Well, Aunt
hatching
Claire,
was best.
that's real good memories.
Yeah,
We're gonna call it there and go up. I think we got to get a picture done. I
Yes,
thought they
okay.
called for Wilfred. Yeah. So, but we haven't got Wilfred.
You get a shot of that with the house in the
Just
background.
one added thing. These are gooseberry trees
Yeah. I'll put that on, put a little note on the bottom, right?
because they're almost like a weed. You can't kill them.
Yeah. What was that? I haven't got the steeple in there, but
Oh, that's all right. That's
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
That's it.
No
That's where we
sweat.
went.